all this information we see on everything from Instagram to Facebook to, commercials on TV, to magazines that are out, to billboards you drive by, to everywhere you're at, there are some kind of images that make us look like we don't live up to the right standard.
Correct.
Right? And so you see this stuff and it bombards your mind all day, and then it becomes practical when you get in your home, and next thing you know, you're like always feeling like you're failing.
Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jacquie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world.
Hey guys, welcome back. Excited to be in the studio today and chat with everybody. Here with my hubby, and our sweet little dog is hanging out with us, Molly.
Molly is in here today. She's not
Hi,
on camera,
Molly.
but she's in here. All right, what are we starting with? Wait, I got to ask you a question.
I knew it.
Where does a waitress with only one leg work?
On a pirate ship.
No. She works at IHOP.
I liked my answer better.
Oh, by the way, we had to go pick up, we just got a full cow for our family to eat for, a month and a half.
So you didn't just pick up a cow and it's not hanging out in our backyard.
Yeah. We have a freezer full of, steaks and meat and tasty stuff, right? Yeah. Which is great, but it actually made me think, of a question that I wanted to ask you. Would you rather eat a baby cow or a matter baby?
I heard you say this to the kids the other night. Go ahead.
No, which would you rather eat?
What's the matter, baby?
Nothing, baby. What's the matter with you? That's funny, and you know it.
I'm so on your joke. Yes. Oh, you test run it with the kids around me.
You didn't remember. All right, let's talk about mom guilt. How about that?
Okay.
Want to get in that topic today?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I want to get you going on this, so I'm going to kind of interview you about this because obviously I'm not a mom. And
yeah.
But I think this will be a really good topic for people to hear because I think this is a very real thing that happens pretty much daily in a household, right? So maybe you can you just tell me what are some of the key areas that you either have or do feel guilty at times as a mom, or even other people that you know of that maybe they do. Let's start with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's such a broad topic. Mom guilt comes in different forms and it comes in waves, and one day you feel like you're on top of the world doing excellent, and then 30 seconds later you're losing your cool, and you have this guilt that takes all day to get over.
Yeah.
But I will say some of the common ones is you just kind of, as a mom, I think when you decide to be a mom, you feel like you take on all responsibility with your children. So anything in your life has to be put on pause, and it comes with knowing that your kids just have first priority all the time.
So did you know it was going to be like that, or is it just something that kind of kicked in after you had the babies?
No, I think it definitely was a fear up front for me because it was one of those things of changing everything about your life. As soon as you even get pregnant, you're changing everything. I mean, what you eat, what you do, how you feel. I mean, you're kind of sharing your body. And so it just never goes away. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like from the minute that you get pregnant, you know, there's this new, I have to give up certain things for the health of what's best for our child.
Okay.
And so that starts at the very beginning.
Okay. So what are some key things that create the guilt?
I mean, some of them, I would say start off again, like once you have your child, that you need to be a mom all the time, that anything that you want to do is put on pause. And that could be something like maybe you enjoy taking time for yourself by going to either the gym or having a spa day or going out with your girlfriends or, even maybe a trip that you want to go on. It just all seems like it needs to pause for a season.
Yeah.
Because for you to step away and do those things, then that means your child might be without you and that they can't function well without you.
Okay.
And
What if
so-
you leave him home with me? Does he still feel guilty or concerned or
Yes,
nervous?
because majority of the time you feel like you're babysitting. I remember numerous times Greg would be like, so am I babysitting or is somebody coming to babysit? No, you're watching your children. Babysitting is when you get paid and you go to somebody else's home. And so I think it's it's like, again, as a mom, you're like, oh, okay, I'm there all the time. That's what I do all the time.
Yeah.
And so,
Well, but you pushed me for a long time that you want to have a seventh child, right? And so we're not going to do that. So
No, we're not
I
doing
just
that.
decided to lower my maturity level and become your seventh child. I thought it was a pretty good strategy. What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
So, actually now at this point with the twins being 15 and, and down, and they're so darn responsible.
They are.
I kind of feel like I'm being babysat when you aren't here.
they do kind of tell me what you did.
I feel like I'm on their schedule, kind of, They're reminding me to take care of things, which is kind of fun, actually, while me and Drews are playing. Right?
Yeah. So they're
yeah.
babysitting you and Drews.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I feel like you're avoiding my question here. I want to know what kind of real guilt. Let's not be general. Let's be specific. Like, what are some things that you really have? Like think of some scenarios. So what is it? Is it just that I can't leave? Okay, ever? Is it that even if you go work out, while you're working out, you're not enjoying working out because you haven't had packaged this properly in your mind that you actually, it's okay to do that? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I just think in general, it's like that. Even when you are working out, I mean, again, I'm sure it's a mom thing. You know what I mean? Like you're thinking of a million other things all the time. You're not maybe just focused on what you need at that time because you're so used to always serving and loving your children.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So even when you're at the workout, I mean, maybe it's just our kids, but I can be in full sprint on the treadmill and I'm getting phone calls. Yeah, you know what I mean? I will be sprinting it out and I get a phone call and I'm thinking, oh gosh, I better answer this. It could be an emergency. Mm-hmm. And they're like, hey mom, is it okay if I only do one math today instead of two maths for school? Uh-huh. Where's your dad? Oh, he's over there. He's looking at his phone. How about you go ask him that question? You know what I mean? So it's I think it's just, maybe it's not setting the boundaries or whatever, but I'm just saying it's stepping away and realizing that the mom guilt of even making sure that everything in the house is done well. Is there enough of the right meals, enough of the right food? Is there enough time in the day for each child?
Mm-hmm.
Did you spend enough time with that child? Mm-hmm. And then as you have more children, did I spend enough time with each child? And then did they get individual time? And then, all this piles up. And then all of a sudden, you're doing everything and you think it's going well until you snap because you just stepped on 4 Legos that went into the bottom of your foot. And you're screaming that nobody cleans up the house and that you have to do everything. Right? Or I walked over to the kitchen sink the other day and it's piled high and the dishwasher was left open. It's a clean dishwasher. Everything is clean in it. And because nobody was communicating, our child thought it was a good idea to throw, dirty dishes in there. And everybody's looking and I just lost it because I'm just we were about to empty that thing and unload a whole dishwasher of stuff and unload the sink into it. And I'm just wow. And then instead of kind of exploding, then moving on, the mom guilt kicks in again. Oh my gosh, I just yelled at my kids. Oh my gosh, they're probably gonna need therapy in a year. And you're just whoa. You go to bed saying, I'm sorry to your kids 400 times, even though, everybody snaps sometimes.
So do you cuss when you actually step on a Lego?
No, I do not.
And you tell the truth.
Did you just say, did you just
I was
buzz
going to
me?
say angelic, perfect.
I do not want to step on a
Jacquie
Lego.
Francis. You never have a stored up cuss word that when you stub your toe on something, it doesn't come
You
out.
didn't ask it. If I step on a Lego.
Okay, either way.
I don't think I do. I'm not saying
You're on video
words.
now. You're on video.
You're
This is
on
being
video,
recorded,
too.
right?
You are on too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm not the one lying.
So I'm supposed to have mom guilt about that too.
Well-
I'm teaching the kids foul language.
Mom the sailor.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, so here we are, and we are very intentional about trying to eliminate some of this mom guilt over time, right? But yet you still deal with it on a daily basis, just about, right? Probably not
Always,
as much
yeah.
as you used to. What are some tips that you can give people that help you kind of alleviate some of the mom guilt?
Yeah, I think it's a couple things. You know what I mean? First of all, like we come from like a society where it's like, you know, everyone's supposed to be perfect. And if they're not perfect, then you're going to get, you know, ridiculed for that or pointed out.
There's so much like social pressure. For sure. I mean,
So much.
And a lot of it we bring on ourselves, to be honest with you, but
Yes.
it's kind of hard not to. You're so surrounded by information nonstop. So all this information we see on everything from Instagram to Facebook to, you know, commercials on TV, you know, to magazines that are out, to billboards you drive by, to everywhere you're at, there are some kind of images
Yes.
that make us look like we don't live up to the right standard.
Correct.
Right. And so you see this stuff and it bombards your mind all day. And then it becomes practical when you get in your home. And next thing you know, you're like always feeling like you're failing. You know, as you and I know this, even though we know this, it's still challenging because we know that this is how marketing works. You know, marketing is simple. It's like, let me show you all the areas you're deficient in compared
Correct.
to what we're holding up as a standard of beauty or perfection or the right parenting or whatever. And by the way, you're not there. We want to make sure you know you're not there.
Right.
Right. Why? So that, therefore, we can sell you a product that helps you get closer to it. Is that right? And so here, most people are just like, I don't know if I can ever live up to this thing over here, right? The reality is we need to turn our brains off from all of that, but how do you do that? You know, you can minimize it, I think. I think you can be intentional about trying to not see that, but it's hard. It's hard. Like even when you know better, it's hard. You have to really try to avoid some of this stuff.
And I remember, you know, when our kids were younger, especially, you know, I was exhausted. I was tired. You know what I mean? Like, you know, between running businesses with you, having 5 kids 4 and under, healing from all that, still traveling. We had commitments and speaking engagements.
Yeah, life didn't stop because we had kids. We still had to do all the stuff we had to do before we had kids.
And then on top of going to all these speaking engagements and everything, while I'm there, I'm still, I mean, taking care of my child by needing to, you know, pump or whatever, you know what I mean, milk and supply for my child because I nurse their children and things. And, you know, so here you are all dressed up speaking one moment and then you're in a closet taking care of mommy duty over here and it just never stops, you know, and nobody's like mom. We all know that. Like you can have the best babysitters, you can have dad there, you can have whoever, but typically if something goes wrong, who's the first person they want? They want mom. So you're constantly on call.
I mean, they do ask me questions sometimes. Usually one. You know what that question is? Where's mom?
Okay. Case in point.
It's
like
true.
literally.
That's the question I get.
I mean, literally, even our little Hunter, you know, she'll come in the house, hey, mom. And I'll be like, actually, it's Ask Dad Day. Ask Dad the question. Mom. I'm like, no. Ask your father. It's Ask your father.
She gets more persistent then.
Mom, I have a question for you. No. I want you to go ask your
She
dad.
literally just like, you're just kidding. I know you're kidding. Like,
And then finally I'm like, and you'll say, hey, Hunter, what is it? No, I need mom, you know? And I'm like, and you would think it's some big mom decision. And she's like, so mom, is it okay if I go outside and play in the backyard? I don't know. Ask your dad. Dad, do you think she can go outside? And Dad,
then you ask me.
Yeah, I'll go, Dad, is it okay? And you'll go, sure.
See, I was contributing.
I'm like, so with that all being said, it can get really, really stressful and really, you can get worn out.
Yeah.
And I remember one time coming to you because it was like a lot was on a plate. Like as usual, we're doing a million things. And I remember saying one time, like, I don't know what else to do. At this point, I get up at, 6 o'clock in the morning to try to have just 45 minutes to myself so I can have my prayer time, so I can just think for a minute, so I can plan out my day. By 7 o'clock, I have kids that need me and I need to do this. And then by 8:30, I have to have them organized because I need to do this, this, and this. And I want to go to bed at 5 p.m. because I am so tired from making our house, it felt run smoothly all the time. And you were like, and then on top of that, you would even say, I know, because then you and I don't have time, hon. Because if you and we didn't, we had no time.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Because the time we did have it together, I'm tired. Like I am worn out. And you would say, well, what can we do? And I think it's just one of those questions that it's okay to come and ask for help. You don't have to do it all. In our situation, we started bringing on help. That didn't mean I wasn't being a great mother.
Right.
But that meant we needed some help in the house, because for us to accomplish everything that we wanted to do in our, not just life, but our day, it looked a little different than maybe when, my mom or your mom was home with us.
So first and foremost, mom guilt is a super real thing.
Yes.
And it's okay for all the moms out there if you're dealing with it. Just know that probably most people are dealing with it more than you realize. So you're not alone. Right? It's a very real thing. It's actually, you're not crazy. You're not weak. It's just that we live in an environment that is almost constantly pointing out that you aren't doing well enough. Right.
Yeah.
And that's tough. And so I think the first piece of advice from everything you're saying is like, just first of all, recognize you're probably doing a lot better than you think. It's just your environment's convincing you you're not.
I agree.
Okay. So that's the first thing. Just reminding yourself of that perspective once in a while, I think helps. Number two, solutions, right? Like, how do you start doing this? Let's talk about that in the next episode. Let's get real practical with some things.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. See you next time.